Welcome to this edition of Simsbury School News. My name is Dominique Avery. Today, our focus will be on the concept of inclusion in our school system and the accompanying unified programs that help students with disabilities partner with their non-disabled peers. There are 3 different unified programs in Simsbury: sports, theater, and wellness, and we're going to divide the show into several parts with different guests, including students, in each part. But first, we're going to discuss the concept of inclusion and the unified programs with three Simsbury teachers: Alaina, Haley, Matt Spector, and Tracy McConnell. Welcome to all 3 of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Alaina, I'm going to start with you. What do we mean by a unified program? Just pretend that people out there have no idea what you guys do. What does that mean?
A unified program is one, as you had mentioned, that includes people with disabilities and people without disabilities. The shift was, for a while, there was a lot of integration. So students with disabilities were participating side by side, but not necessarily doing the same thing. The idea of a unified program is inclusive, where everybody is doing the same thing and at their level, and they're getting the support from their peers, and they're getting peer models for that.
So how did this change come about? I mean, I guess years ago there were special education classes where certain people with disabilities were separated completely, and now then they went to integration and now unified. So can anyone of you tell me a little bit about the history? Sure, jump in.
Eunice Kennedy Shriver she was really the founder of Special Olympics, and one of the things that she really wanted to promote was sort of an even playing field, so that students or people with intellectual disabilities could compete and have a chance to grow and develop and have these other outlets. So Connecticut adopted this, and then I think, then Simsbury jumped on shortly after, and so the rest is history, really. Okay,
so the movement really started with Eunice Kennedy.
It did.
I wasn't aware of that.
Special Olympics in general, and then unified sports became sort of the educational, the school component of the bigger organization.
And if I can ask, how did each one of you get involved? Matt?
So I actually started unified sports when I was in high school, and then I started doing Special Olympics. I was a coach, I was a partner, I did it all, and then I started studying special education in college, and then I got here to Simsbury High School, and then I found out that they had a program, and then I came to practices, I participated, and then I became coach this year, and then just love it, absolutely love it.
So what took you in that direction of special education?
My brother, he has autism, so growing up with him, I got to learn all about what does it mean to have a disability, and how does that impact them both in school and outside of school. And then I just want to help those kind of people and kind of help them learn and be functional and be independent outside of school.
Tracy, how about you? How did you get involved?
It was a package deal. When I was hired for my position at the middle school, they needed someone to take on the responsibility of coaching unified sports, and I actually have the benefit of working with sort of a co-coach from FAVAR. So Dennis Bianchi has been with me for 13 years now. We've been coaching 3 seasons a year. So. And it really, it helps me to get to know more of the student body, because my population is pretty, small. It's pretty reserved, and the contact that I have with students is in the midst of a class, so I don't really have time to see them outside of their classroom behavior. So to be able to see them socially and interacting more freely and naturally is a pretty exciting thing.
Alaina?
Well, I actually got involved in special ed after I realized you can't do anything with a history major. But in all honesty, my aunt has a developmental disability, and just seeing what things she's, accomplished in her life. She lives in supported housing, she had meaningful employment, and just how, the friendships that are formed now can carry on through unified theater, through unified sports, through unified wellness, those friendships can carry on into adulthood, and just how meaningful it is to be part of a team. And one of the greatest things I like about all the components is that you don't know who has a disability and who doesn't. And I think that's, you know, definitely to our success. It's taken time to get there, but it's one of the greatest things.
So
very rewarding.
So that's what I wanted to get into a little bit with you. What is special about a unified program then?
Is that everybody works together to complete the same goal, the same outcome, no matter whether or not they have a disability or not. Everybody's working together and becoming friends and completing a task that in the end is a really beautiful accomplishment.
And Unified Sports is really set up to accommodate different learning styles and abilities. And so there are actually different levels of competition. And so if you have students, say, that are visually impaired or in wheelchairs, even they can still compete athletically. And the competitive level goes up to even where the partners and athletes are equals. And they play just as hard as any other team. And at Henry James, we typically have the athletes have a little bit more of a spotlight, and they're the ones that get to score, and the partners really have more of a supportive role. But in terms of the celebration, everybody's there.
So how many, we have just a few seconds left, how many students are we actually talking about who are involved in the Unified program?
Hundreds.
Yeah, a lot.
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay, so now we've done a little overview of what the Unified program is, what inclusion means, and we're going to take a short break while we switch some guests, and when we come back, we'll be talking specifically about the Simsbury Unified Sports program, so don't go away. We're back. Matt Spector is still here, and we've been joined by some students in the Unified Sports program, and I'm going to have them each introduce themselves and tell a little bit about how you got involved. We'll start with you.
I'm Nicole. I'm a senior at Simsbury High School. I've been doing Unified Sports since 7th grade, and I really enjoy meeting new people and making new friends.
I'm Annie. I am a senior at Simsbury High School. I've also been doing Unified since 7th grade, and now at the high school I do track, soccer, and basketball all throughout the year. I love Unified because I get to spend time with my friends and meet a lot of great new people that I wouldn't have met just doing other activities.
Jack?
Hi, I'm Jack. I've been doing Unified Sports since 4th grade. And I'm in 8th grade at Henry James Memorial School, and I enjoy making new friends and meeting new people.
So, Jack, what kind of sports do you play?
Basketball, soccer, and volleyball.
Yeah, so you're on a volleyball team?
No, just Unified Sports.
So Matt, maybe you can explain to us a little bit how Unified Sports work.
Yep.
Are there teams? Obviously, I mean, I just learned something that there aren't, so correct any misapprehension that I have. How does it work?
So for our soccer program that we have at the high school, we have 3 teams, and sometimes they play against each other. Sometimes we go to tournaments and we play against other schools. For our basketball program that we have, it's about 5 teams that we have, and they range from Level 2, which is our highest level in which partners and athletes can score, down to our Level 5s, in which we have a student with in a wheelchair. We also have a track team, which is just everybody as one team. But this year, for the first time, we started giving our athletes varsity letters. So it's actually recognized as a varsity sport at the high school.
Nicole, what sports do you participate in?
I participated in track, basketball, and soccer.
And what do you like about soccer? What?
Kicking the ball really hard at the goal.
Annie?
I do the same sports. I love being able to run up and down the field, making passes, and just the look on everyone's face when when we score a goal or win a game. It's just a great team
So,
activity.
Annie, were you involved in sports at the high school or
Yeah,
before?
I played field
still?
hockey in the
What
fall.
hockey?
Field hockey
Field hockey.
in the
Okay.
fall. And then during the season, I also play soccer, unified soccer.
Mm-hmm. So, Matt, how do you get kids involved in the program?
So we spread the word through papers. We hang a lot of papers up on the wall, announcements, and most importantly, word by mouth. And, you know, we have a lot of people that love doing it, so they go around their school and tell their friends, you know, you should come join Unified. It's an excellent program. We have a lot of fun. So we get a lot of word by mouth students that come in and truly fall in love with it the second they get there.
Annie, when did you start?
I started in 7th grade. One of my friends was doing it, and so I joined, and then I just continued it throughout.
So, are you a competitive person? Is this a competitive team?
I would say so, yeah. We all like to win, but like having fun is definitely the priority, I would say.
Is it unusual? I mean, you mentioned that there are hundreds of students involved in this program. Is that unusual?
I know that whenever we go to a tournament, the people in charge of the program statewide are always impressed by, oh, that's Simsbury. You have 5 basketball teams. They're kind of astonished. So, you know, I think we have a good amount compared to other schools, but I still want to keep growing. You know, it's very important for the school culture.
Jack, I happen to know that you're going to be moving.
Yep.
And moving to another state.
Yep.
Are you planning to get involved or see if there's a unified sports program there?
Yeah, but there isn't.
There isn't?
They only have Special Olympics.
Uh-huh. Do you do Special Olympics here?
Yeah. And
What?
this past winter, I did bowling.
I imagine where you're moving is very cold and
Yeah.
a lot of snow. So do the Special Olympics do a lot of winter sports, do you think?
Yeah. I did bowling this past fall.
What kind of, do you know what kind of sports are done during Winter Olympics?
Well, there's skiing, snowshoeing, all that hard stuff.
Have you ever done that stuff, Jack?
Yeah, I've done skiing,
Uh-huh.
but I decided to quit because it was too hard. I always slip.
Well, you know, I totally agree with you there. I never wanted to ski. My only experience was really bad. So at this point, is there something that I didn't ask about that
I
you
also
want?
do Special Olympics.
Tell me about that.
I was 10 usually, and I got into swimming, snowshoeing actually, and then I tried all the different sports. I do golf in the spring, I do bowling in the fall, snowshoeing in the winter, and swimming in the spring.
Now, do you participate in the Special Olympics that's done here at the CLNP?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, our time was really, really short here, and so
too
we're
short.
actually done. Thank you all so much for coming, and we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to switch guests yet again, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Unified Theater Program. Don't go away. We're back again, this time to talk about the Unified Theater Program. Alaina Haley is back, and Grantland Rogers has joined us, and 2 students who we'll meet in a minute. Grantland is a social studies teacher who I'm told was involved in getting the theater program started in Simsbury. How did that come about?
Well, I didn't get the theater program started. I've been teaching in Simsbury for 17 years, and when I went to Henry James, the Unified Theater Program was already working, already up and running. Sarah Averill was running at the time, an English teacher, with a lot of assistance. One of the things about the program is it brings so many different people together. There are so many different helpers and paraprofessionals who are needed to make it happen. Well, I've had a lot of experience with special needs in my own family, and also some experience with theater. My father was a professor of theater, and so getting involved in Unified Theater seemed like a natural fit for me, and it was a great experience. And then when I transferred over to the high school, I wanted to continue, and so I'm back involved with Unified Theater again, but now at the high school level.
Alaina, maybe you could describe the Unified Theater program in Simsbury for the public so they can have some understanding of what it is, how it starts, what happens there.
So one of the philosophies for Unified Theater is you'll hear them frequently say if you attend one of their events is to put the spotlight on ability. So Unified Theater really focuses on what someone can do and runs with that versus putting the students into a box. So I mean, everything is completely different. We work it on, you know, if you have a student in a wheelchair, they might be the bus driver for certain things. Just really going with what they can do. And again, not having any idea who has a disability and who doesn't when you go and see the final performance.
Okay, so what, do you have rehearsals? Is it a club? Do you meet once a week? How does this work?
So it is a club. We have a performance. Well, I would say the season starts off in October. We send 4 or 5 students to the Unified Theater Summit. It's in West Hartford or Hartford generally, and the whole day is focused on how to look at people's abilities and what inclusion actually is versus just putting someone on a stage for the sake of putting them on a stage, how to truly include them. We have quite a few student leaders this year, which is really good, I hope. And you know, they really are the backbone behind everything, and we're there as adults to support and make those adult decisions. But we had our first practice actually today. So as this is going on, they had their first practice. It's generally Mondays and Fridays till about 3:15. And then the final performance will be on February 26th.
And the final performance is at the high school, at Henry James? Where is it? And is the public invited?
I really want to say like the Schubert Theater, but it's not. It's it is at the high school. And the public is definitely open to the public.
And is this a creation that comes from the students, or is it, are you doing a written play or a written musical? Or?
It's all from the students, and in the years I've been involved, there's been a theme. So last year was the school theme, and then this year the theme is rock and roll. So, you know, just certain songs and what it means to them and what it means to them for inclusion and how we can continue that at the high school.
And I think that part about how so many people are involved in the adults are really the facilitators and the students are the creators. They do take the creative ownership of the show.
Now we have 2 students who are sitting here. I want them to introduce themselves and tell us who you are and how you got involved.
I'm Hannah. I'm in 9th grade, and I started Unified Theater in 7th grade. My mom's a special ed teacher, and when I was younger, she would take me to the shows at the high school, and I was like, hey, that's cool, so I just, in 7th grade, started it and then kept going.
Grace?
I'm Grace. I'm in 9th grade, and I started Unified Theater when my dad was asked to help with Unified Theater, so I decided to join, and I met a lot of nice people. It was fun working with them.
And they were both leaders, I believe, at the middle school, so they both had the leadership role, so we're looking forward to them at the high school.
So Ms. Haley just told us that there's rehearsal today, and you're not there, you're here. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, it was like it was our first rehearsal, so I was a little disappointed, but there's a lot more, so it's okay.
Well, as Hannah said, it was just our first rehearsal. They were mostly just going to be like icebreakers and finding out some music. But when the rehearsals increase, the more important they get will get higher, so I should probably go to the other meetings.
So I'm glad we're doing this the first day, so you don't have to miss any more, but I really am grateful to you for coming and sharing with us. So the theme is rock and roll for the 2 of you, and what does that mean to you, and what are you excited about seeing come out of this?
Well, I think it'll be kind of cool to like see the different songs like we pick and like the way people like their interpretation of them. And I just think it'll be cool because like everybody, you get to make up your skit, so it's like cool how like some of the kids, like the things they come up with and like they're funny and like it's cool.
Yeah, the whole rock and roll theme is kind of fun because I always like listening to music whenever I have free time. So if I can incorporate some of the songs that I like, I would enjoy that.
So what would you like to see in it, Grace?
I don't know, maybe like some Simple Plan songs.
Oh, you're bringing it back.
Anything.
Do either one of you have something you want to see in it, a favorite rock and roll song?
Neil Diamond? Is that
Neil
it?
Diamond?
Is that,
I don't know if Neil Diamond's rock and roll.
Queen. But
oh, okay,
Yeah.
so
Queen, right.
Neil Diamond works.
yeah.
But that's what, what it is, Unified Theater is about. That it can be. If you like Neil Diamond and I like Queen, we're going to come together and we're going to figure out how everyone can kind of enjoy those.
Yes, I would vote for Beatles. But
So then you can come join us too.
right. Yes, yet another thing to do. So we have about 30 seconds left. Something that we haven't told that you really want people to know about this Unified Theater program.
I think one of the things that people wouldn't realize from the outside is the way in which everyone does learn from each other. It's a process as the show comes together, and for me, who's been a control freak, letting go and letting the students just take it away, and you see little things bubble up that seem kind of strange at first, but then become really a nice part of the show. We had a student who wanted to be a bear, and they brought that into the show. And I didn't see how that was going to work, and it worked beautifully. So it's full of surprises and learning.
So when is the show?
February 26th.
February 26th. Well, I think we'll all have to be there. Thank you guys all so much for being here. We're going to take yet another break and switch guests again. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Unified Wellness Program. Don't go away. We're back with some new guests and some old friends by now, and now we're going to talk about the Unified Wellness Program, which I understand is totally new this year. Alaina, you're back again, and I'm hoping you could describe for us generally what a Unified Health or Wellness, it's not called health, excuse me, Wellness Program is.
It's okay. Unified Wellness consists of the physical education component, but as well as the health component. And one of the things that Jane Langlis was really kind of the fuel behind all of this. She's a PE teacher at the high school, and she coaches hockey, so she's not able to be here today. But what she felt when she was instructing is that students with disability really weren't able to access the curriculum at the same pace that the other students were, and how to make them more included into the games that they play and the team building things. So Unified Wellness is a class that offers the PE credit for students with disabilities, and 11th and 12th graders that do not have disabilities can participate in the class as an elective. So it's truly for the students with disabilities, but with the partnership, I should say. So just, again, allowing the students to have access to the curriculum. One thing that can be problematic for adults with disabilities is obesity. So really being able to get that healthy lifestyle through a wellness class and understanding that these are healthy habits that can carry you into adulthood. And as you can see, the partners are generally athletic as well, so it's a good peer model for them.
Okay, so let me have the two of you introduce yourselves and just tell me who you are and where you go to school.
I'm Derek Regenauer, and I go to school at Simsbury High School, and I'm a junior.
You're a junior.
I'm Mackenzie Gemme. I go to school at Simsbury High School as well, and I'm a senior.
So, Mackenzie, you're taking this as an elective.
Yes.
What made you do that?
Well, I actually started out with Unified Sports in middle school. I started doing Unified Volleyball in 7th grade, and I just really started liking it a lot, and I continued on with that into high school. And then, since this program is very new, we get our book that has all the electives in it. And I was talking with my guidance counselor, and she recommended this to me because in my future, going to college, I want to participate in unified classes, and I want to be a special ed teacher. So we thought this was just a brilliant elective for me to be a part of.
Matt, talk a little bit more about Explain to me, I'm from another planet, I have no idea what you're doing there. How does the class function? Do you meet once a week, twice a week? How does it work?
So we meet 7th period every single day, so all of you 11th and 12th graders out there, please join our class. But we do a lot of the things that a regular PE class would do. We climb the wall, we run around the track, we do the mile, we do a lot of team building activities. But the thing about our class that makes it so special is that we have students that will do that in our class but won't do it in other classes. So they may climb the wall in our class because they feel comfortable kind of with everybody else there, rather than in a typical gym class they may feel kind of pressured to do something like that. We just finished a track unit earlier in the year, and it was really nice to see the partners and the athletes running around the track together. We were seeing a lot of people kind of rooting each other on. So it's not even just helpful for the athletes, it's helpful for the partners as well, because they're both working together to kind of accomplish the same goal.
So, did I read something that you also are doing life skills in this class, and that you had to write some letters at the beginning of the year? Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah. So the way that we got a majority of our partners to join our class is that we had the athletes write letters. So we did a whole lesson in Alaina's room about how to write a letter. What kind of information do you put in it? How do you address the envelope? And most importantly, how do you send it? So by teaching them those skills, they were the ones that were kind of reaching out to the partners. It wasn't us. So just like Unified Theater, we kind of took a step back and letting the athletes kind of pick who they wanted to be in their class.
So were you involved in the letter writing? Did you send a letter, or did you not do that?
I don't remember.
Don't remember. It's fair.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
So what do you enjoy about the class?
I enjoy being able to socialize, make a lot of new friends, and all the athletic stuff.
Do you climb the wall?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And what are the other things that you enjoy doing?
We do everything. We do kickball, basketball, weightlifting, running.
And do you do those things outside of this class as well, or does this give you some freedom too?
Well, we do a lot more than I do, obviously, outside of school. I do play sports outside of school, but this is just like a regular gym class. It's everything that you do grades 9, 10, and 11, but this is just more modified, so that for people in wheelchairs, they do have the ability to do something that maybe in a regular gym class they would have to sit out, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We want everybody to really be a part of it.
That's really important. You know, we have less than a minute left. I can't believe how fast this has gone. Something that we haven't talked about, something that you really want to mention, any of you, jump in here.
I mean, it's just a great class. I think every high school in the country should have this kind of class to really give everybody an opportunity to grow as a team.
It's definitely something students should. Next year, I'm not going to be here next year, but definitely next year, students at our high school, and if it spreads to other high schools, it's such a great class to take, and you make so many new friends, and it's just such a rewarding experience.
Thank you. We're going to have to end it there. We're running out of time. I'd like to thank everyone here at SCTV behind the scenes for their help in getting the show on the air. Thanks especially to all my guests. I'm so sorry that I don't have time to name them all. We've had so many today. Finally, thank you for joining us. If you missed any portion of the show, you can find it on our website at simsburytv.org, where you can get updates on new shows and the show schedule for all our channels, Comcast 5, 95, and 96, and Frontiers Uverse Channel 99. I'm Dominique Avery. See you next time for the Simsbury School News.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.